Front nine? Back nine? Or eyeing the 19th hole? Wherever you are in life, Host Plus can help you drive your retirement further. That's a plus.
Welcome to Talk Birdie To Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie To Me. Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Titleist, the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Better, when the greats bet, they bet with Better. Ping will help you play your best. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Now, here's Nick and Mark.
Hello everybody, welcome to the program. This is a Talk Birdie To Me mini. And first up, Dan, I think we've got a recording to listen to.
Well, we have a voicemail, which we'll have a listen to, which will pose a question. We've got a...
Is it still the same place where people leave the voicemail?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Talkbirdie2me.com.au, scroll down a little bit, push the button.
You betcha.
Okay, you can do that.
Here we go.
You have one new voicemail. New message.
G'day, Marco and Nick. Gordon and Lizzie from Woodlands. The Bahrain Open, Callum Hill had the lead on 18, but then just watched him balk 4 times from teeing off, having one-arm swings. Then when he got to the fairway, did the same thing 3 times, was unsettled on the green, was waving at small bugs, and eventually when it got to the second playoff hole, did the same sorts of things and lost. Just wondering if you've ever had that same situation or seen anything that's worse, and any ways to overcome it when we start getting a little bit nervous when facing some shots. Cheers.
Well, Gordon's not the only one who asked about that. We had a message also from Josh who said, "Hey boys, I'm wondering if you managed to catch the last hour of the Bahrain, in particular Callum Hill, and how fidgety he was on the 72nd, and then what he did prior to conceding the playoff." I was watching it and it brought out all the emotions. It started off frustrating, then I was nervous for him, and I eventually felt very, very sorry for him.
Okay, I went back and had a look because I knew it was coming. I only saw the playoff. I didn't see what happened on the 72nd. So you better talk us through what happened on the 72nd, Nicholas.
Yeah, the 72nd hole was pretty tough to watch.
So he had a one-shot lead?
So he had a one-shot. He was tied with Reed and Freddie shot a hole or two before, but Reed didn't make a bogey. I think he must have made a birdie, but Shot had made a bogey. So he had a one-shot lead, teeing off 18. He was nervous. It's kind of a driver hole, but he had a fairway wood out.
He's won twice though, right? I had a look.
Yeah, I think he's won twice.
He's won twice on the European Tour.
And he has this little routine where he has one-arm swings, as Gordon was mentioning, where he sort of puts the left arm either on his chest or his right arm, and then he's making these rotations, which is fine and all this, but he has all this other stuff going on where he's, when he gets over the ball, it's very robotic. There's a real system and a method to it. And he gets over the ball, but then he backs away because he can either see a bug or something, so he starts shooing it. And as he said, he did it about 4 times. And it was brutal. The commentators, I think it might have been Andrew Coulthard or someone saying, gosh, we may need some medical help here surely because he's melting down in front of our eyes, basically.
Right.
He almost had taken 3 minutes to hit this tee shot, so you could see the stress coming out of him.
All right, so
this is on the final hole of the regulation.
So I missed all that, but what I did see is that he hit the ball way left and he had the putt over this huge shoulder that was off the green, and to get it coming back on the green, and his ball actually hit a sprinkler and jumped up in the air and ended up, had about a 25-foot
about 20 feet or something, which is a really good effort. What surprised me is I thought he might chip it. I thought he'd get the lob wedge out and take that whole ridge out of play, try and spin it.
Why didn't he chip it?
Well, obviously he was very nervous and maybe he's not a great chipper, although he did hit a really good chip on the previous hole to get it up and down. So I was surprised about it. Look, it was always going to be a tough par from where he was. He made bogey, so 3-way playoff. Patrick Reed, first playoff hole, he makes bogey after hitting in the fairway bunker, and then the second playoff hole, oh my goodness.
Well, we've got that to show.
Here we go.
Let's show it.
Yeah, tee shot here.
Here is Callum Hill, a 2-time winner on the DP World Tour. Now,
it's an awkward tee shot. You got water right
and out of bounds left, and look, everyone's done that.
Yeah,
It's
a quick hook
shot. Yeah.
He got a little unlucky that it went out of bounds, but it wasn't a great shot.
Yeah, that's right. And I saw Freddie shot. He actually hit his drive. Oh, now that's the one.
That's the second
Now
shot.
that is a 45-degree angle shank, and it actually hits the scoreboard in the lake, which was showing his 45-degree angle shank.
Just to remind you of it, yeah. Oh, you want to wipe
What
that
a-
from the memory banks really quick. Look, the ball was below his feet. You know, it was an awkward lie, but it's nothing pros don't deal with normally.
No.
It's just a full-on hosel rocket.
No, but I think the two queries that we've had from our Wolfpackers, the two queries are, was the nervous stuff that he was doing a contributor to what happened later at the second playoff hole? And I would say absolutely.
Yes.
Because you don't lose that anxiety in the middle of a playoff.
He led the tournament for a long time as well. He led going into, I think he shot 61 second round.
Yeah.
So he was leading. And then he had like a level pass third day, but he was still leading.
Yeah.
And again, he didn't shoot a great round in the final round, but he led all the way. And I think the emotion and the pressure he'd probably built up over leading for so long just caught up with him, and his routine just got completely out of whack. And typically, look, if you're not feeling comfortable, always say, look, back away. But to do it 4 times, it's really tough.
You are Mr. Routine, and a lot of your teaching is about routine and thinking, and that's where you were a genius in this particular game. Now, I think the lesson for people who are curious about what happened here in Bahrain, the lesson for them is, how do you keep your pre-shot routine simple?
Yes.
And simple where whatever you're trying to work on, it actually helps that situation. Now, you've dealt with, I would say, hundreds of golfers in your post-professional life. So what's the most important thing to keep things streamlined and effective?
It's funny, I was with a couple of guys down at the National this past week, and we started out on the range, and I put them through a little bit of a drill where they have to achieve something on the range. So it's like you're simulating pressure out on the golf course. And funnily enough, what I noticed with both of them is they spend a very long time over the ball, and that's the number one thing.
That's the killer.
I say break the pre-shot routine up into 2 sections, 2 phases: a decision phase and then an execution phase.
I've never heard that before. That's very good.
So the decision phase is what you do behind the ball. You just go, right, what club have I got? Where's the pin? What sort of a shot am I trying to hit? All those things. Oh, there's water, right? I don't want to go there. That's okay to think about that while you're behind the ball, obviously not over the ball.
Not over the ball.
As soon as you take your first step into when you hit the ball, that's when the streamlining comes in.
Yep.
And you want to make that time as short as possible, I always find. For me, whenever I walk in to hitting the ball, it's 12 seconds.
Yep.
Whatever club I'm using, it's rock solid routine that I have. I'd say a lot of people are 15 to 20 seconds is probably too long. Keep it around that 10 to 12 is pretty good. But the most important thing as well, and what I was helping these guys with the other day, was after your last look at the target, bring your eyes back to the ball, go. It's that reaction to the target is the key.
Yep.
So try and do something that's repeatable, makes you comfortable, and your last look back to the ball, start the swing. And the funny thing about these 2 guys I was helping the other day was they spent a long time looking at the ball, and all of a sudden they said, I've got no swing thoughts. I'm not thinking anymore. And I said, fantastic, because we don't want to think over the ball.
Yeah.
We want to feel over the ball.
Yeah.
We want to react over the ball, and that's what the pre-shot routine's all about.
Yeah, look, it's very simple advice. I use a similar philosophy, not the same. I think yours is better than what I do. But I use this term, getting out of the way of yourself, for when people feel like it's haphazard not to look at the ball for a long time. They feel like they're throwing caution to the wind, sort of. Don't think of it like that. Think of it, you're getting on with it, like you say, you're not looking at the ball for so long. Think of it differently. Don't think of it as you're rushing. Think of it, you're getting out of the way of your own self, and to trust the decision-making behind the ball.
Yeah.
So those feels, so you've decided on the shot, you have your practice swing, that's your thinking. That's your feel. Get to the ball And if you stare at that ball for too long, you'll forget the field. You'll forget it. And that's where you got to get out of the way of yourself and pull that trigger.
The other fascinating thing, which I'd never seen in a playoff before, was Callum Hill conceded the hole.
Never seen it.
I'd never seen that in a stroke play event.
Yeah, I thought it was the wrong thing to do.
But apparently you can. There is a rule that says if you want to concede, you can concede. Because Freddie shot, he was in the rough right of the green. He chipped onto 10 feet. He had it. He was going to win. But I think Callum said, look, mercy rule. I'm tapped out. Get me out of here.
Anyway, so, folks, the Callum Hill tale of the tape is have a very simple, repeatable, sensible decision-making pre-shot routine. It makes life easy on the golf course.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's it, boys.
Thank you, Nicholas. We'll see you next time, folks.
Talk Birdie To Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. The Golf Clearance Outlet, they beat everyone's prices. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Better, ahead of the game. Ping will help you play your best. And Host Plus, they can help you drive your retirement further. Now that's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. This is general advice. Consider the PDS and TMD on our website before deciding. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and share the pod with a friend. Talk Birdie To Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie To Me.